I used to think the worst part of cheating was the betrayal itself. That quiet, sneaky theft of trust by someone you share a mortgage and the last slice of pizza with. Just textbook daytime talk show drama. I was naive. Honestly, I was like a freshman sitting star-eyed in Philosophy 101. Never thought one day that abstract idea of betrayal would take shape in the form of my wife, naked, panicked, and darting across our neighbor's backyard. And that moment wouldn't be the end of my world, but the beginning of the most glorious, twisted revenge I've ever pulled off. Before we get to the juicy part, I need your opinion, jury style. What would you have done in my shoes? If you think I should have calmly talked it out, drop a 1 in the comments. But if, like me, you believe revenge is a dish best served flaming hot, hit me with a 2. We had the kind of life you'd see in an ad for Suburban bliss. Family of 4, cozy house on a quiet cul-de-sac outside Austin, Texas. My wife Emily, the kids, and I did the usual. Work, PTA meetings, weekend barbecues with neighbors. Comfortable, predictable. Until he moved in. Brandon, mid-30s, CrossFit built, Apple Watch, that I whitened my teeth for Instagram kind of smile. He rolled up in a shiny but clearly leased BMW X5 and instantly threw off the careful balance of our sleepy neighborhood. He was that guy, too friendly, out taking out the trash in spotless white Yeezys, always chatting with someone's wife about where to get the best oat milk latte in the area. People liked him. Emily liked him. At our next street cookout, this one hosted by the couple down at the end, Brandon showed up with a smug grin and a case of IPA, like our regular Bud Light was beneath him. Then he proceeded to hijack the party, cracking one raunchy joke after another like he was auditioning for SNL. The women laughed. Emily laughed harder than I'd seen in months, flipping her hair, giggling like she was 25 again. I noticed how often he looked at her. Not flirty, predatory, like he was sizing up a stock investment. I told myself I was being paranoid, but the seed was planted. While I was out grinding 24-hour shifts at the fire department, Brandon threw a housewarming party. Of course, he invited the whole street, including Emily. I was working. She went without me. The next day, she raved about how great it was. His cedar sauna cabin was amazing. The plunge pool out back was ice cold. Snacks were fancy. Vibe was 5-star spa, she said. Harmless? Maybe. But something felt off. A few days later, I casually asked around. Most said it was chill, but one older neighbor mentioned Brandon was especially attentive to Emily. Almost like he forgot she's married, he said. That stuck with me. Then the little signs started piling up. Emily started smelling like a new body wash. Piney, woodsy. Oh, just something I tried from Target, she shrugged. Sure. But it smelled exactly like a sauna. Then fate stepped in. Emily went downtown to run errands. Moments later, our neighborhood gossip, bless her, shows up at my door. Oh, hey! Just returning the money Emily lent me. I saw her walking from Brandon's place the other day. She was such a lifesaver. My brain clicked into place. Everything snapped into focus. The next day, I called in sick. Faked a fever so hard I should win an Oscar. Told Emily I had another 24-hour shift. Then I geared up for what I now call Operation Steam Cabin. With the stealth of a Navy SEAL, I hid behind some bushes across the street from Brandon's house. There I was, crouched like a weirdo in camo with a thermos of cold brew and enough mosquito bites to qualify as a blood donor. And boom, Emily walks out of our house carrying that spa bag, the one I gave her for our anniversary. And where does she go? Straight into Brandon's side gate and toward the custom-built backyard sauna cabin.
I sprinted home, grabbed a pepper spray canister from my nightstand, but realized I'd gas myself too in a closed sauna. I needed protection. Then it hit me. In the garage, a relic from my crazy uncle's survivalist days, an old army gas mask. And the pièce de résistance? 2 buckets. I went straight to the compost tank in the backyard and filled them with the foulest, most fermented organic matter you can imagine. I almost puked from the smell. This was war. I snuck into Brandon's backyard. Soft music was playing from the sauna cabin. The inflatable plunge pool looked like something out of a travel influencer's feed. I walked up and dumped both buckets into it like I was blessing it with the filth of betrayal. Then I crept to the wooden door of the sauna. Inside, sounds you can't unhear. I slipped on the gas mask, kicked open the door like a SWAT officer, and shouted, "Surprise, lovebirds!" There they were, naked, sweaty, twisted together like a rejected Cirque du Soleil act. I unleashed a full blast of pepper spray like I was exterminating roaches. Screams, coughing, chaos. I bolted back, phone in hand, ready to film the encore. Seconds later, they came stumbling out, blind, screaming, red-eyed. They crashed into lawn chairs. Emily shrieked. Brandon swore. Then, genius struck again. "The pool!" Emily yelled. Their salvation. They dove in. I laughed so hard I almost choked. Because remember, that wasn't water anymore. That was now a swamp of shame. When the stench hit them, the screams changed tone, from pain to horror. Brandon surfaced first. "What is this?" Emily gagged. "What the hell is in here?" I took off the mask, grinned. "Just a little something to help you soak in your sins." Then I walked away. Back home, I calmly packed Emily's favorite sweaters and a few basics, set her bag outside, and texted her, "You're going to your mom's for a while." A few hours later, they showed up at my door, still partially damp, reeking of spa and sewage. Emily screamed so loud it could have shattered glass. Brandon threatened me like a frat boy in a courtroom drama. "You're gonna pay for this!" he yelled. "Yeah," I said, "you already did. In flesh." They threatened court. I smiled. I had footage. I had everything. I called a high-end divorce attorney the next day. Guy shows up in a suit sharp enough to cut glass. I told him the whole story, buckets and all. He grinned. Legally, this is a gold mine. Then came the cops. Apparently, Brandon filed a complaint, said I attacked him with a chemical weapon. Cops rolled up. I put on my best clueless citizen act. "Officers, I thought she was being hurt. I heard screams from a sauna cabin. What would you have done?" Even the cops started smirking. My lawyer stepped in like a boss, quoted legal articles, threw out terms like sanitary code violations and non-consensual cohabitation with public health risks. Brandon's complaint? Dismissed. But I wasn't done.
At work, I handed a flash drive to our IT guy, a hacker in everything but name. That video? We labeled it Luxury Spa Weekend Gone Wrong and leaked it anonymously to every local WhatsApp and Telegram group. Brandon's reputation? Torched. The nickname Stank Spa stuck like glue. He moved out 2 weeks later, sold the house at a massive loss. Probably still smells the betrayal in his nostrils. The hardest part? The DNA test. One of the kids wasn't mine. I stared at that 0% probability like it was a glitch, but it wasn't. I might never have found out if Brandon and his spa cabin of sin hadn't lit this fire. Now, I'm in court fighting for custody of my real son. I've got the lawyer, the footage, the receipts, everything. This isn't the end. It's the beginning of a cleaner, freer, realer life. If you want to know how the custody battle ends, hit that subscribe button. Like if you think justice was served. And tell me in the comments, Which part of this revenge made you laugh out loud?